Hi everyone. First off, I just want to explain I'm not actually a YouTuber at all. I'm just a viewer, somebody who's been watching this situation unfold. I feel very called to make this video because something is really not adding up for me with this entire situation and nobody is talking about it. I think something really, really shady is going on in the background with this entire situation, and I think people are being paid off. So here's my take on the whole thing. So right now, there's a massive campaign to destroy Shane Dawson. I think this is a paid campaign by somebody higher up or people's higher up. I think it's a deliberate attack on him. Tati in her video yesterday actually talked about the bot accounts on Twitter and how they can influence opinion. So I found that very interesting. But the other thing is, why now? Why is all this stuff from Shane's past being brought up now? It's already been brought up many times before. He's apologised many times before. He's not making those kind of videos now. So why is it being brought up again and in such a vicious way? But here's the thing, I'm not taking sides in this situation at all. I don't think I have a side. I'm trying to, in my mind, find out what the truth is. And I'm just finding this whole situation really shady, because so many things that are really obvious are being overlooked. And regarding Shane, it seems to me that this is a deliberate attack right now and somebody is actually feeding out this information and they're going all the way this time. Whoever's doing this really wants to destroy him. Now, I've no idea who this could be. It could be somebody really higher up. We saw in the series he did with Jeffree how Jeffree's factory was broken into. So, I think this whole beauty world is so shady. And my point is, I'm not, and people are going to say, oh, but Shane's videos are awful. Yes, the point I'm making is, why now? That's the point I'm making. Because I think this is a paid effort, a deliberate effort to destroy him because of the timing. Now, here's the other thing that's really got me concerned. I've been watching an awful lot of the drama channels throughout all of this, just to get their commentary, to get their feel on the situation, to learn more about what's going on. I found the videos really good, really informative. And the person who I see kind of leading the attack, for want of a better word, on Shane is a drama channel called Peter Mon. And I have found him really good through this whole situation. I have found him very kind of balanced, very self-aware. He came across to me as somebody with a huge amount of integrity. And I really enjoyed listening to his videos. Now, the other person who's really out for Shane is another channel called Saunders Kennedy. Now, he's sending all this stuff to the police and everything. Now, I don't know about Saunders. Maybe he is being paid off to say things against Shane. I don't know. I know he's come out and said that he was being paid by Jeffree Star, or at least on the payroll, however he wanted to describe it, So that shows to me that he's open to that kind of collaboration with people, at least, So either he just hates Shane Dawson's guts, or there's something else suspicious going on where he has been asked to, push a narrative about Shane. Now, I'm not trying to excuse the videos. I know the videos are problematic. The point I'm making is I'm talking about this attack on Shane, and please keep this in your mind as the overview, because I'm not here to defend Shane Dawson. I'm actually trying to find out what is actually going on, because this is just way too much. Now, yesterday, Tati did this video, and I was watching the video, and it was so obvious to me from straight away that she was lying and manipulating. And I could see right through this video. And I was waiting for Peter Mon to come on and pick apart her video, because Peter is very, as I thought, very self-aware, very astute person, able to read situations, able to see through things. And he didn't. He fully backed all the lies that she told in her video. And I was kind of gobsmacked watching his video, I have to say. And all he did was back her and again drag Shane Dawson, which I just couldn't understand. Now, forget the Shane stuff, right? What I couldn't understand was, why was he supporting this woman? It just didn't make sense to me, because there's so many lies in the video. Now let me go through the lies in the video in case people haven't seen these lies. So she starts off by talking about how broken she is, how it's really affected her health, her physical health, her mental health. Basically could barely function. This situation has affected her so badly, so deeply. Now, I can completely relate to what she's talking about. I have been through similar in my life. However, what was a red flag for me with her saying all of this is that it was really obvious that she's had a lot of plastic surgery done recently. Now, I'm not interested in the plastic surgery. I'm interested in the psychology behind all of this. When you are on the brink of despair, on the brink of kind of a breakdown, barely able to function, your body is suffering so badly. I mean, she said she'd lost weight, obviously she couldn't eat, she couldn't look after herself. The last thing you're going to be thinking about is going down the plastic surgeon's office. I am sorry, but when you are in that state, you can barely move yourself. It takes all your effort to even have a shower. I've been so bad within myself that I can't even bring myself to have a shower. It takes all your effort to get your meals, to just get yourself through the day. You're not going down booking plastic surgery appointments. So this was a massive red flag for me. And it just set the whole thing off on a bad tone for me, if you know what I mean, because her story that she was saying, which, on paper sounds very plausible, it just didn't match up with how she was presenting herself after having, quite a lot of procedures done recently. So that was kind of my first red flag. People don't have to agree with me, but that was the first thing. So the next thing was she talked about James Charles and the allegations that Jeffree made against him. She claimed that she was really worried for James Charles, that she was concerned about him. She was worried about him jumping off the building. She also said something about, being really concerned about these actual allegations, like was he doing these things? And that, she was just really, really worried about it all. So what was her response to that? She uploaded a video and titled it "Bye Sister." Now, that just says it all. She called her video "Bye Sister." She literally wanted to obliterate James Charles's career. That was what that title said. And yet she did that video with that title against one of her best friends. And yet she's claiming that she was concerned about him. She was really concerned about these allegations, blah, blah, blah. Now let's just back up a bit, because I think we all get lost in watching videos and thinking that is kind of normal to... We see YouTubers, when you watch a lot of YouTubers, we can think of them as friends. And when they're talking to us, we can think of them as friends talking to us, through, almost like a FaceTime video or something. What we are forgetting is that these are videos that people are putting on the internet about their supposed best friends. Now you ask yourself, if you heard that one of your best friends that you truly loved in your heart was doing these kinds of things to boys, would your first thought be to go and upload a video and call it "Bye Sister" and want to ruin that person's career? And she's saying in the video she was so concerned. She was so concerned about these allegations. She wanted to almost kind of help him with this big problem he had. But yet she went and uploaded a video. I don't care if she says that they manipulated her into that video. That doesn't make sense to me at all. There's no sense whatsoever in her uploading a video. If I had a friend who was young and these allegations came out about them, and if I was a YouTuber, there is no way I would make a video about this. No way. I would talk to my friend. If my friend didn't want to hear what I had to say, I would go to the police. And it's just, I wouldn't go to the police straight away. I would want to actually have solid evidence, okay? But then if I had some solid evidence, I would be down that police station like there's no tomorrow. But my first thing to do would be to go to my friend and say, what the hell is this all about? So it doesn't matter to me if she says they gaslit her, they manipulated her. The worst thing that they did was make her believe these allegations. That's the worst that they can possibly do to this woman, is make her believe this, okay? No amount of any kind of manipulation can then make you go from that belief to uploading a video. Because this is where something called boundaries comes in, okay? Now, she actually gave a very good example with James, wanting to put himself out the window. She was worried in case he might, do something from the 17th floor. This is a very similar thing. And this is about crossing lines in life. There are certain lines that we just don't cross, okay? And it doesn't matter what anybody does to us, you do not cross those lines. Now, if you were standing at the top of a building and somebody was trying to encourage you and manipulate you and, gaslight you into jumping off that building, would you jump? No, because there are certain things that no matter what somebody does to you, you just don't go there. And uploading a video about one of your best friends who you had living in your house, who you mentored, that is one of the places where you just don't go there. So nobody had the capability of manipulating her into doing that video. It wasn't possible. She might have thought about it in her head, she might have wanted it, she might have wanted revenge, whoever. We all go through all these complex feelings if we feel people have wronged us, if we feel people are doing wrong things, but you still don't upload the video and you still don't entitle it "Bye Sister." I mean, just, you have to think about this. Bye Sister. I mean, and it doesn't matter if she says Shane offered to title the video for her and do the thumbnail, because she said she refused his help, which means she decided to call it "Bye Sister." Now, that to me, if she had gone no further in the video than just that one point, that to me, deal done. She is lying and manipulating. There's no comeback from that, okay? It doesn't matter what information they gave her. There is no coming back from the fact that she took that step, which is a line you do not cross, against one of your best friends. I have never seen Shane Dawson upload a video like that about any of his friends. It doesn't matter if he's talking about them behind their backs. We all talk about people behind their backs. Let's get real. He doesn't upload videos like that, called those names about his friends. So that's where she gets a big cross from me and he gets a tick. And I am not taking sides. I am just looking at what was presented to me because I'm trying to feel my way through this whole situation. So that was the first massive red flag for me. The second inconsistency was where this was just a complete contradiction. She said that they manipulated her and that they were lying, especially Jeffree, about all this stuff that James Charles is supposed to have done. And yet she did not refute the voice recording that she heard. So as far as we are aware, the voice recording is still true. So if the voice recording is still true, that means they weren't lying. So even if they were heavy-handed, putting the pressure on her, all this, trying to get her to believe all this stuff, she never said that that voice recording was made up, that it was a lie. It's still there. It's still, as far as we are aware as viewers of these videos, that voice recording is still valid. So that was the second place where she fell down for me, because she accused them of lying about him and said that it was all lies, but yet she never said that the voice recording wasn't real and that it was a lie, and she also admitted that she heard it. So now it doesn't matter if she says, it wasn't as bad as what I thought or whatever, it wasn't bad enough for me to go to the police. She still heard it. That's the point I'm making. She's saying that they lied and they manipulated her, but she still heard the recording. That's my point. So she heard proof of something, okay? So that means they didn't lie. So that's the second point, the second inconsistency. The third inconsistency was this whole thing about Morphe and Jeffree owning some part of Morphe. Now, I found this really strange because she put out this whole video reading from a script, making out that the whole video was kind of, a precursor to legal action, and that everything is with the lawyers now, everything has been checked, everything's been legally checked, she can't come out and lie about anything because she's given everything to the lawyers. She has to be super careful because it's all going legal now. Now, that part I actually thought was great, because you kind of think finally we're going to get some truth. But then she says this thing about Morphe. Now, Morphe have come out today and said, no, Jeffree doesn't own part of Morphe. Now, here's the thing. How easy was it to get that information out of there? One accusation in a video, straight away, they've put out a statement saying no. So my point in this situation is, for somebody who was doing a supposedly really factual, legal video where she had to be so careful about what she said and so careful about what she showed us because everything had to be so legal, why didn't she fact check the Morphe information before she told that to us? All she had to do was contact them and ask them, and they would have said no. She didn't do that, so that means she didn't actually fact check her video at all. So what does that say? That was another lie, another inconsistency. Claiming she needed to be so careful about what she was saying, and yet she threw in something that wasn't actually true. Now, for somebody who's taken the legal route, I would have assumed that every single thing in that video would have been run through lawyers, would have been checked, every single thing checked, so that she couldn't be sued for misinformation. And yet, what did she do? She put out misinformation to get everyone all stirred up about Jeffree. Another thing she said, which didn't actually make sense to me at all, and this is just my opinion now in this, I would have no idea Jeffree's feelings on this situation, but she talked about Jeffree being jealous of James Charles and wanting to get rid of James Charles, and, you know, kind of just Jeffree wanted to be the only one and get rid of James Charles. Now, here's the thing. At that moment in time, Jeffree was selling James's merch, and Jeffree is a very shrewd businessman, very rich. And when we saw the docu-series that he did with Shane, we saw the sheer amount of James Charles merch that he was shipping through his factory. And Jeffree was talking about the fact that they kind of can't keep up with the demand for the merch. Now, this doesn't make sense to me that if Jeffree Star is facilitating the sale of James Charles's merch, Jeffree Star is getting a cut out of this. So he is making money out of James Charles. Why would he want to ruin somebody that he's actually making money from? That doesn't make sense to me at all. And it also didn't make sense to me with the claim that he had ownership in Morphe. Because likewise, if he had ownership in Morphe, wouldn't he want James Charles to sell loads and loads of units of everything so that he could make more money? So none of this was making sense to me. Again, this is just my opinion on this. I don't know how Jeffree feels, okay, about James Charles. Maybe he did want to get rid of James Charles. I don't know. But that was just something that really stood out to me, because I think if I had somebody really successful and I was shipping their stuff, I would want them to be more successful so I could make more money. I mean, that just makes sense. It makes financial sense. So I didn't understand her point about that at all. So that was just another thing. I could be completely wrong though in what I'm saying about that. It was just something that stood out to me. Another thing which I found really disingenuous and inconsistent as well in her video was all the references to the crying and dad. You know, I promised my dad I wouldn't cry. You know, dad, I'm sorry. Now, here's the thing. That was just completely cringy. There was no need for that in the video. I don't know. Well, I do know why she put it in. She put that in to manipulate. But here's the thing, okay? She was saying she didn't want to cry. She promised her dad, Tati, just edit it out. All she had to do was edit that section out. We didn't need to hear all this, okay? So it wasn't that she didn't want to cry on camera. She absolutely did want to cry on camera because she wanted to garner sympathy, because she wanted to manipulate her audience. That is the only reason why she left the crying and the dad references in the video. There's no other reason for that. So that was something else that I picked up. Because remember, this was not a live video. She had all the time in the world to edit it. So all she had to do was edit out the crying. We saw Jenna Marbles close to tears. Maybe Jenna did cry in her video, but it was, if she did, she edited it out because she didn't want to come across as this victim. So Tati absolutely wanted to leave the crying in there, and this dad stuff was just more manipulation to try and get the audience on her side to garner sympathy. Another inconsistency I noticed was her saying that she only befriended Jeffree Star to try to help him. Now, I'm sorry, you know, of course, when we meet people who we feel are damaged or whatever, there might be a part of us that wants to help that person, and that's lovely. But at the end of the day, we all befriend people because we like them. We don't befriend purely just to help somebody. I mean, that's just so ridiculous, okay? You know, she had him at her birthday party and everything. She obviously liked him, and I'm sure there was a part of it where he was financially and socially beneficial to her in terms of, you know, her social media following, her money. You know, she could gain clout from being around him because he was doing quite well at the time. So there's all these other reasons why she would have been friends with him. She was not only friends with him because she wanted to help him and put him in touch with her charity. I mean, that's just the biggest load of BS I think I've ever heard. So, and the thing is, all these little lies, I mean, that's probably only a small lie, isn't it? You know, but all these small lies, first of all, show that the person is not authentic. And it also shows that if they're going to lie about small stuff, they are also capable of lying about big stuff. And that's really important. Because if you're going to lie, you're going to lie. And that's just the bottom line, you know. And the final thing I want to say on this, and this is the thing that's bringing me back to the drama channels, and I'm wondering, are people being paid to put out these videos? And are the drama channels, specifically Peter Maughan and Saunders Kennedy, are they being paid to push the narrative that Shane Dawson is this absolute monster? Because none of this is adding up to me anymore. Let's just get real here, okay? So here's the thing with her video. If you notice, she never says Jeffree and Shane manipulated me. It's always Shane and Jeffree. She always puts Shane's name first. Now, this is really important because right now, who is the person who is being thrown to the wolves? It's Shane. And she knows this, and she went on her video to put the final dagger in. This is my take on it, okay? And this is why she singled him out as even worse than Jeffree. She singled him out as the person who was really the one who did the manipulation. Jeffree, yes, but more so Shane. It was like it was all slanted against Shane. Shane this, Shane and Jeffree, Shane. Now, here's the thing. I don't think she has done that because she has seen the mood on Twitter and she has seen what's happening to Shane. And this is just my personal opinion now. I have no idea. But my opinion on this is that she's actually being paid as well, or that she's part of this group who is in charge of this takedown of Shane right now. So yeah, I just find the whole thing really, really shady. I think nobody is telling the truth right now, including the drama channels. There are some drama channels. I watched a couple of videos last night. I thought they were very balanced. Rich Looks actually did a really good video. I don't normally watch Rich Looks because I know he's in Jeffree Star's pocket, but in fairness to him, I thought his video last night was very good. And there was another one, I think it's called The Viewer's Voice or something. He did very good videos where he looked at both sides of it. He didn't just take Tati's side. He was also able to look at it from Shane's perspective, and he brought up some really good points. But they were the only two videos I watched that I found were balanced. The rest was just, it's all Tati's amazing, she's telling the truth, and Shane is just this, you know, POS. So, and that was what really just got me thinking there's just something not right here. This is not adding up because it's not this way. You know, she was so obviously lying in that video and manipulating. And the fact that the drama channels are not commenting on that, that speaks volumes to me. Now, the other thing about this situation, which I find really disappointing, is that I've spoken about Peter Maughan a lot, and I don't want you to think that I'm attacking him in this video because I'm really not. He's the person that I've watched the most, and I felt a very strong connection with him, and I thought he had a lot of integrity. However, I'm not thinking that anymore. I'm withdrawing my support from him, from Saunders Kennedy, and from all these other channels who are only reporting the one side of the story, because I think they are really biased, and I think they are overlooking so many red flags because they only want to push the one narrative. Now, I don't know why they're doing that. I'm wondering if it's that they're being paid. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there as an observation. The other thing I noticed with Peter, which didn't sit well with me, the other channels aren't doing this, but I noticed Peter's doing this. Go and open one of his videos on your phone. You will see 16 to 18 ads in every 20-minute video. It's so disconcerting. You know, you can't kind of follow his train of thought at all because there's just so many ads. So he is quite clearly trying to profit out of this situation, which does not sit well with me at all. There's one thing about wanting to make money, pay your bills, all of that, but this is a whole other level of greed. And he is profiting right now off of all of these people's pain, because we don't know the truth in this situation. We don't know what's really going on, okay? But one thing I do know is that there's an awful lot of pain right now between all of these people. Whether they're guilty or not guilty, there's so much pain. And for him to put that amount of ads in his video and to be kind of, you know, willingly want to profit to that level off of this does not sit well with me. Now, you can all say, oh, but, you know, he has bills to pay and blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, it doesn't sit right with me at all. And he's complaining about Shane with his cash grab and all his money and all of this. Well, to me, Peter Maughan is now doing his own version of a cash grab with his videos on this and with the ridiculous amount of ads. And also this shows a real lack of care to his viewers. It shows that he's not actually interested in his viewers if he's prepared to put that amount of ads into his videos, because he doesn't care that the narrative that he's talking about is being broken up every couple of sentences with all these ads. It makes it so difficult to watch. I mean, it drives me insane, to be honest with you. So that's another red flag for me with Peter Maughan. So just to conclude, I think you know by now, I find this whole situation really sketchy. There's definitely, in my mind anyway, something going on with this takedown of Shane Dawson. I feel it is a group effort from behind the scenes. I think people are being paid, and I think one narrative is being pushed. I'm not saying that he's not problematic. I'm not even on his side in this. I'm on the side of the truth. That's all I want to know. If there is a victim in this situation, that's the side I'm on, and that's all I want to get to. I am not interested in people pushing their narrative, their version, you know, supporting this person against that person. This isn't about support to me. This is about finding out what really happened. And if there really is a victim who was on this voice recording, that's really all I'm interested in. So this is why I felt really called to make this video. Nobody is looking critically at every single person in this whole thing. It's like you're on one side or you're on the other side. But nobody is on no side and just trying to see the inconsistencies between the whole lot of them. And I think unless we are all on no side, only then will we finally get to some level of the truth.